Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. This post was put up through my highly productive Telegram group, and don't ask about it because we've pretty well pared it down to everybody we want. So this article is titled Trading Strategies No Need for the Holy Grail. Now what prompted this article was basically a conversation of, is it better to have literally, let's say, hundreds or thousands or millions of strategies, or would 2 or 3 work, and which would give you a better portfolio return over the long run? From my experience, it depends on your goals. From what I've seen on the Bloomberg analysis that I do pretty well daily through the news app, I'm finding there are always trends to watch for, especially if it's around correlation between certain econometric events or news events that shock something on the upside. As a result, what I'm finding is if you really want to do well in trading overall, you kind of want to follow where the hot money goes. And the hot money goes where professional traders put their money. And that could be in commodities. Obviously, cryptocurrency is a big one right now. As well as maybe some Forex moves and so on and so forth. One good example from last night's Din is how I was reminded on, if you're just doing stock and only equity, usually your return's not going to be a lot. From what I talked to a lot of professional traders, what comes out is that only really the amateurs do stock trading. Just for the sole reason that you can make money today and give back tomorrow the profits, and that usually happens a lot. But for this one person, they were complaining about the transaction fees, and they're using Interactive Brokers, which is really a round trip of $2 for the buy and the sell. So there, he's not making a lot of money in his stock trading, which is kind of shocking to hear, but it confirms that theory about how trading direct stock is not really a smart way to build a portfolio overall. That's just what I'm seeing from the number of years I've been trying to learn this stuff. So that may be a problem for him because he may be setting his take profit stop losses too low. So because of that, if he's only getting a 2% move, let's say, and he's going to pay 1% on the commission fee, which I'm not sure what his quantity is on each stock, it sounds like he's either not doing it right, or his goals of the take profit stop loss are not high enough, or not. Basically what he's doing, he's not tracking the right type of trading opportunities. So basically, if you ever heard the saying, many of the amateurs will hunt for minnows, but in actual reality, you should be always hunting for whales. And it's the whale moves that will give you that profit. And I'm finding it, as I said, potentially, I'm not saying for sure, but potentially in Forex, definitely in commodity and options, as well as crypto for now. Not sure how long that game will last. But overall, I wanted to talk about the overall goals of strategies and the number of strategies you have. I'll also add, when I started out doing quantlabs.net, I found somebody, I won't say the name, but he was one of the early venture capitalists for what became James Simmons and the folks over at Renaissance Technologies. And from what I understood from the conversations that came out of that was to always have strategies on the side. So basically you have an arsenal of a few hundred strategies, and what you're doing is you have developed a variety of strategies that are waiting in the wings for certain market conditions so that they can be deployed. In this case, they've also been automatically deployed based upon what they're watching in the markets. And that to me is a smart way of trading as well. But if you have the time and the resources to develop all those strategies, you could probably deploy it all, but it's pretty complicated. There's also the methodology of how basically you can now, with machine learning, develop a algorithm that develops algorithms, if that makes sense. If you remember the days of genetic algorithms, basically what they did was it was an algorithm or some form of trading logic that will build out a equation based upon the market on what's being watched, and then from there it would generate another equation to forecast the market move. And that could usually span into probably dozens or a couple hundred different equations that you're forecasting, and then you watch the actual move, and you exit based upon one of those equations that are generated. That can do well, but you'd have to have some very high level hardware where you're going to be parallelizing in a huge way. Typically, the only way to get around that without the use of GPU is through FPGA, and just basically sending a stream of data into the FPGA and have all those algorithms on the side waiting for certain market conditions so that exits and entries can be generated around that, if that makes sense. So there are numerous ways to go about this, and I'm still in the early days of it. So, but I do believe that you should have quite a number of algorithms on the ready. But in my case, for now, I'm keeping it very simple and keeping my indicators very simple, and hopefully only hunting the minnows and going for what I think will be a maximum intraday daily swing on whatever I'm watching, and that obviously is going to be Forex for the meantime. All right, so hopefully I'll help you out, and if that makes sense, if not, hit me up on my social media and let me know what you think. Over and out. Later.